Hello there, this is Natural Fitness Lifestyle. Today I'm going to be talking about social influencers. Am I a social influencer? Well, I hope to have a positive social influence. So I can't say if I'm a social influencer until I get some social feedback. Feedback from my viewers, from the viewers out there. I need to get feedback from the viewers out there to know if I'm a social influencer. Now, speaking of these social influencers, they come out with texts with no skin. You see, this is skin here. Skin here. It naturally contains water underneath it. Now, if you see somebody out here with skin like saran wrap and large pecs that are expanded, they're not natural, they're artificial. They're phony social influencers. Phony. You're getting a phony picture. Now, if that's what you want, hey, I'm not knocking it, that's fine. If that's the influence that we're having on this society today, that phoniness is in, quote unquote, phony. Well, okay, but consider the perspective. You're looking at something phony. You're looking at a phony social influencer. I'm not a phony social influencer. These are real pectorals. This is real muscle. This is real skin containing water underneath the skin. When you see bodybuilders on here with no water underneath the skin, indicated by how tight the skin is on their muscles, on their pecs, with veins all over, and no visible skin, then why should that be a social influencer? Do they have pecs like this? Hmm? This is real natural skin. This is real natural muscle. This is not phony. This is not gotten in a bottle, in a chemical bottle. You know that a lot of these social influencers get all kinds of pro hormones, pro steroids, and inject them, and they say, "I'm showing you real muscle." No, they're not showing you real muscle. They're showing you chemical, laboratory chemicals. If my biceps was ballooned with no skin, so you see, this is skin. This is real. This is the way a natural muscle looks like, because natural muscle has skin with water. So if you see a social influencer with no visible water underneath the skin, they're phony. I'm not a phony natural bodybuilder. I'm a real natural bodybuilder. I'm trying to influence people to work out, to eat right, and most of all, to have a positive mindset. How can you have a positive mindset if you're telling people, if you're lying to people, saying that you're a social influencer, but you're taking steroids, you're taking artificial drugs, and showing people an artificial body? You're showing people an artificial body and calling yourself a social influencer. Shame on you. You're not a social influencer. You are a liar. I am telling the truth here. I am real. This is a real body. This is not a phony body. I challenge all these social influencers to get on here on the live stream with me and show your natural body and explain to me how you have no skin, no water underneath the skin, when the human body retains water 50% underneath the skin and 50% in the internal organs. The body does not favor retaining water in the internal organs and in the muscles, and not underneath the skin. It does not favor where it retains water. It retains water both underneath the skin and in the muscle and in the internal organs. That is the way the human body works. If anyone gets on here calls themselves a social influencer and has no water, no visible water underneath the skin. They're not a social influencer, they're a social liar. This is what you should know. And this is very important. I'm a real social influencer. Because I'm a real body. I'm not a phony synthetic body. Listen, if you want to follow social influencers, go ahead. But you might as well just go follow a statue. Yeah, there are a lot of statues out there with big muscles, right? Bigger muscles than any social influencer. And they're phony. But so are these social influencers. They're phony too, because their muscles are made up of chemicals, of laboratory chemicals, because you could see that they have no water, visible water underneath the skin, while they have expanded muscles. That is a condition that cannot naturally exist. You, you cannot have big engorged muscles with no visible water underneath the skin. That is not possible unless you take synthetic chemicals, which means you social influencers are phony, just like the statues. But that's okay. Go go put yourself in a museum and exhibit yourself. Then you're a social influencer. But don't say you're a natural body like me. And while you're at it, do you have abdominals like this? Will you be around with muscles like this, especially abdominals like this, when you're 62? Hey, taking those freaking phony artificial steroids, you're not going to. So anyone has any questions on the chat? Anyone has any questions? Reach towards the chat box and type in your question. How do you get a social influencer to prove that they have real muscles, to prove that they have natural muscles? How can you tell natural muscle? This is natural muscle. It has water underneath the skin. If you have natural muscles, you will always have water underneath the skin. You cannot have a tight skin on your chest with veins and engorge and call yourself a natural bodybuilder. No, it does not work that way. Take it from me, I was one of the top natural bodybuilders for my over 40 in the world. I won my first professional masters competition. Who wins their first natural professional show? Who? I did. There are very few who did. I'm one of them. Because look, take a look at that. And take a look at this. You want a close look? You want a close look at an 8-pack? This is not a phony 8-pack with diuretics to take out all the water underneath the skin and make it appear that it doesn't have any fat. This is a real natural set of abdominals. So look, read them and weep. 8-pack. Read it and weep. A natural 8-pack, which you social influencers will never get. A natural 8-pack, because you're putting all kinds of synthetic things and calling yourself a social influencer. You're a statue, just like in the museum. Go in the museum. Go inside the museum and be a social influencer there, because you're not fooling anyone. You don't have an 8-pack like this. And you never will, especially at 62 like I do. And I have these guns. And you can't guess how big these arms are. Reach towards the chat box. Tell me, how big do you think my arm? Does that look like a phony arm? that have all kinds of veins and it's expanded without any visible skin, without any visible water underneath the skin? No. A natural arm's supposed to have visible water underneath the skin. When you touch your muscle, it should leave a fingerprint. Okay? So I'll leave you there because I don't have any questions here. I see that no one dares to reach towards that chat box and ask me a question. You chickened out. Everyone chickened out because all these social influencers chickened out. I'm a social influencer and I'm a chicken. That's it. No questions. I'll see you on the next live stream. Till then, keep pumping naturally. And don't influence anybody with lies, with social misleading. Influence people in a natural way. Hey, do you have enough nerve to ask me a question about social influencers? You could still do it post-stream. But till then, social influencers, social chickens,